Well guys, welcome back to Linda's Pantry, and today I'm excited to bring you along for a little organizational video. I'm not saying it's the only way to do it, absolutely not. In fact, it's taken me a long time to decide how I wanted to do this. A while back I found these jar boxes online. Well, I saw them online and then I saw them locally. And they're made of a heavy plastic. They're semi-clear, but they do protect from UV rays. They're very sturdy. I mean, they are sturdy. You can stack 10 high and you're not going to hurt your canning jars. So for me, it was more efficient to have them like that. They're protected from the light. The other thing, they're protected. I live in earthquake country, so they would rattle around, but chances of one breaking is small. And then unless we had a real doozy, and then if it did break, it's contained within this plastic. It's not dripping down your shelves. So I was excited to start buying these to get rid of the cardboard boxes that my canning jars came in. And it's hard to see what's in there. It just wasn't working for me anymore. But what the problem with this is, when you start using this, okay, you don't always can up a dozen of one thing. Now, this particular canning session was my succotash, and all the lids, all the easy seal, and even the two lids that I was kind of concerned with. If you guys watched that video, they all sealed. I didn't touch those lids. I just said, if it seals, it seals. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And sometimes if you crank it down a little bit too tight, it doesn't allow it to expand and breathe, and then you might have bulging. And so I think that was the issue, but it's fine. They are all sealed. So I've already washed them, and I've put a dissolvable label on all the jars. But I also, because there was 15 in that canning session, so a dozen will go in here. I've got a label out here, so it's easy to see what's in there at a glance. When I take one of these out, then I've got an empty space. Of course, I can put an empty jar in there. But if I have a canning session that I only have 6 things, and I've got 5 slots open in one box and one over in here, I'm going to utilize the space. Therein lies my problem. So hopefully this video is not going to be too long. And I thought, how am I going to organize and really know, even though I'm in there all the time, know how many jars of my cream of chicken and mushroom soup do I have left? How many jars of green beans do I have left? How many jars of, I don't know, tomatoes? And the real only way to know that is just like if you were at actually a grocery store, is to do an inventory. So I designed, and I wish this was a home-crafted, beautiful scrapbooking notebook. That would be the most fabulous thing I could ever hope for, but it isn't. I just went and bought a cute binder, and I'm going to bring you in close so you can see. But I hope that this is the solution. And I'm going to go in, and literally every jar on my canning shelves are coming down, and I'm going to do an inventory count. So let me bring you over so you can see exactly what this little binder has, because I really feel like this was the best way to go. And it's a way for me to keep up on things. And so let me bring you. So hopefully this gives you some idea of what you can do for yourself. I even thought about making up a couple of these and having them as contest giveaways. Okay, so inside I bought dividers that have a little sleeve opening here. And I've got my pen that I want to use. I've also got a couple of labels just in case I need to relabel a jar box. I've got each section. This is meat, and there's extra slips of paper, and this is an inventory sheet, which is super cute. I found this online, and I saw a similar idea from Tulilu, and that's what really sparked this idea. A lot of you have homesteading notebooks and that kind of thing, and I'm not really that interested in having that, but I really do need an inventory way. So up here it has the year you canned it, the title, of what it is, you know, so what meat it is, whatever. Then it's got little, and I hope you can see this, little tiny canning jars, a dozen of them. So what I'm doing is I'm going to color in the lid when I put one on my shelf. And when I take it off, I'm going to color or cross out the jar, so to speak. Hopefully you can see all that. And over to the far right, and I wish I knew if this was really clear for you. Over here to the right is quart jars, pint jars, or half pint. So you can really inventory what you have. So each section has their own, and I've got extras in the sleeve up front. I also bought the sleeved ones here just in case I have a big purchase that has to do with canning and I need to factor that into my yearly canning expense. I can store my receipts in there. This one's for vegetables, and I've already put the succotash. So as you can see, I've got succotash 5/16 and how many jars? So there's 15 jars and what size they were. So super excited about this. I'm not excited about having to take all the canning off my shelves and put it back up there, but I am excited to do this and be more organized. So fruit and sauces, and then I have one more that I'm able to use this. And I just went online, honestly, I went online and put in canning inventory form, and up popped somebody's form that was already done. So this one is, this section is called Need to Can. So these are things that I need to, these are my need to do list, and how many jars of each that I want and what sizes I want. So pizza sauce, marinara, spinach, beets, carrots and celery, green beans, tomatoes, salsa, turkey, cream of chicken, asparagus, peppers, barbecue sauce. I'm going to put more pie filling in there. Jellies and stuff like that go so fast. I sell them. I even sell the pie filling now, apparently. So, so that way I have some to-do list. If I think of an idea, I'm going to run back there and do that. And then this section back here is recipes. Now, I haven't started this yet, but I went on my computer and just made up a little recipes from the home canned pantry. So things that I use and do all the time. I'm pretty much putting this together so I can put the ingredients here on the front, and on the back of the page will be, you know, I've got lines there to write out the instructions and timing. And I did a couple different variations to make it more fun. I've got one in purple with a little pickle jar, and I've got, let's see, this one has little canning jars, and each one says canned can or can you can. Yeah, recipes from the home canned pantry, and then this one's plain. And then the idea back here, I'm going to do one more section, and this is going to be for things that I've found over the years, and I've got a little binder for, you know, like your homemade laundry soap, stuff like that. So if anything ever happens to me, some of this is protected in this binder. So if that makes sense to you guys. So guys, I hope you were able to see how cute this is, and how I feel like if it's cute and fun, I'll do it. If it's not, and all I have to do is write it down, I'm going to get bored very quickly. But this will be very easy for me to open up the section, go in and check mark that those are out of my shelf. Every time I take one out, I'm just going to mark that off. And that lets me know that, you know, I'm getting low on something. And I just thought it was a great idea. I'm really super excited that I was inspired by Tulilu. And then, I mean, I've seen other people that have done beautiful binders. Heather from the Needy Homesteader, she has a great binder for her homestead stuff. And so this is just, I really feel like I need it for my canning room. And because I can't at a glance, because my jars aren't exposed and out in the open, I can't at a glance just see what's there. I have to really root around and find out. So let's go in the other room. I'll take you in there. I'm probably not going to wear the microphone I don't know, maybe I will, take you in there and we will start this process. Okay. Hey, you know what? If you guys like these kind of videos, give me a thumbs up and let me know in the comment section, because sometimes I don't know if you really want to see all this. And the other thing is, go check the links below, because I will leave a link down in the description box. And if you're on a phone, look to the right of your screen below where the video is showing. There's a drop down bar, and then go down into the description there and you'll find a link for the jar box, my All-American canner. You know, I usually leave links like that. My Facebook page is over there, my mailing address, all those goody things. And so by checking all that out, you really help support this channel, and I so appreciate it. And especially when you comment, and thumbs up don't hurt either. All right, let's go in the other room and get started. Okay, so here we are, and the first thing I've got one last, I went and bought 2 more jar box holders, or jar boxes, yesterday, because I had this in another spot. I just really want everything to be organized on these nice shelves, and it's neat and tidy and protected. And these are my sweet and sour sauce. I love this stuff. Quick and easy. And remember, these lids are on very loosely, or the rings. Sometimes I store them with the rings. I want to make sure that they're super loose, just to have somewhere to put them. And yep, they're all loose. Okay. And so too, when you're moving food around, go ahead and check your seals. I mean, this is a good thing to do every year. Honestly, I inventory every year, but I haven't had it this way. I have done it in a mental note and gone through and put things that I needed to use up front where I knew I had to get rid of them first, that kind of thing. But I really didn't I didn't have a system like this, so I'm going to toss that down there. So that means I've got to go back here to sauces, and I'm going to, and I canned those in 2015, so I'm going to take this out of the protective sleeve, and I'm going to put, actually, I'm going to put that I inventoried these in 2016, but where the canning itself on here, let's see, where you write here the item, what it is, I'm going to write sweet and sour sauce and the month and year that I canned it, okay? So that way I know how old it is. And then I have room for other things on this. Sweet and sour sauce, and that was canned 3/15, and then I'm just going to color all these little lids. So how many do we have? 3, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Is there any over here? Sometimes I'll have one out. If we find any more, then we'll add them to the list, right? So I'm just going to color the canning jar lid, and there we go. So there is, oh, and these are pints, so we mark off pints. So there you go. That's the first batch of inventory. So now I want to go ahead and set this aside. I'm going to put other things in this box, but for now, it's going to move off to the side. And let's grab another box off the shelf. And I've got, this table is a, it's a fabric cutting table, See, and this box isn't full. And we've got turkey, we have the elk, we have turkey, we have corned beef that I just did, and that lid's just sitting there. Chicken, I mean, this is kidney beans. This has got a plethora in one case. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get these in here, and I'm going to go case by case. I'm not sure how long this is going to take me, and I'm going to do it until I'm done for today. And I'm going to, on each case that I put back on the shelf, the little label that's on the outside of it, And I think they're like, if they don't have a label, I'm making one. But the label that's over here, I'm going to put a check on it that it's been checked. So I know what to do. All right, guys. Okay, so I'm making progress. This whole shelf is done, and this isn't taking as long as I thought it would. The quart containers, I'm kind of leaving them on the shelf. Just take the lid off. It's pretty easy to see. I've been able to rotate things around, so I've got boxes of empty jars, so I'll know how many empties I have, how many jar boxes I have extra. Sometimes, you know, especially pint jars, jelly jars never stay around. Pint jars come and go because of jellies as well, and or sauces if you share. So in the process, I found 3 jars of beef from 2011. They still look really good. The seals are still really good, but I think I'm going to share this with the dogs. Most of my stuff, I have a 3-year window. Some of it can go longer. I mean, we've had stuff that's older than that, but I try to rotate every 3 years for this kind of thing. So there was 3 jars of that and 1 jar of ground turkey. And darn it, I wish I wouldn't have missed this because it is really good. It holds its texture really nice. So those, you know, thankfully we have animals we can share with. And this is kind of what it looks like. Let's see. The meat portion, and we're not done because I've got 5 more cases to go, which isn't bad. 5 cases is all. Okay, so right here we've got corned beef, turkey, chicken, elk, beef, elk, chicken, kidney beans, black beans. I put meat and beans on this, protein, okay? Kidney beans, black beans, pork and beans, kidney beans again, different size jars, bacon, turkey, and then all the colored in part is and then if I put 2 in one line, like this one, it's elk, there's there's 1 quart and then 3 pints on that same line. So that's quite a bit. Before I end the video, I'll definitely count up the amount of stuff we have in each category. Veggies, and we have succotash, tomatoes, pickles, pumpkin pickles, but I'm taking those out of inventory. It seemed like they, you know, they get eaten up, but I can take them to work and snack on them. Tomatoes and celery, tomato sauce, fruit. We've got pie filling, sauces. We're gonna go with, okay, sweet and sour, cream of chicken, and I put soups and sauces together. So cream of chicken, French onion and mushroom, cream of chicken, chicken bone broth and chicken broth, and then I've got the habitat soup is gonna have to go on here. So really, this is quite easy. I'm very impressed on how fast this is going and how fast and easy to take this out of the sleeve, check off that you used 2 jars or that you grabbed it, and this binder is going to sit here on my shelf. So I'll always have a pen and everything I need is going to be right here for when I get things off the shelf. So let's grab a quart container and show you that. And if you've ever lifted quarts, a dozen of them, it's heavy. It is heavy. Okay, we're going to be meat again. Okay, now there's elk in here. There's ground beef. There's what else? Chicken. Now these are chicken legs. Chicken legs with the skin and bone in. Skin on, bone in. And for whatever reason, it doesn't stick to the jar like that. And this makes the best chicken and dumplings on the fly. I'm not kidding you. I love doing this. It's so good. And the bones, you can actually just crush the end of them. They're just so soft. So this, I just did this month. I didn't bring you along for a video though, because I don't know, are you guys getting sick of canning? So, and there's only what did we have? 1, 2, 3, 4 quarts of chicken thighs. So I put that in, I believe I put that in when I was doing some elk meat. So anyways, we'll get this written down, get this back on the shelf, check this one off, and I'm going to be done before you know it. All right, guys. Love it. Okay, so I'm done. It didn't take me but really an hour, and that was pretty good. I thought it was going to take a lot longer, actually. Every jar got my hands-on attention. I touched it, I examined it, I made sure it was still sealed, and I feel really good about that. I counted up the jars, and I'm so shocked at what I don't have that it's kind of embarrassing. I have 86 jars of meat, so I'm pretty good in the meat department, although I really would like to have at least 100 on hand at all times. So, and only 4 that needed to be rotated out, so that was really good. That means that we're not wasting. It just got lost in the shuffle. And I always allow for the dogs to get some anyways, because I do add protein to their diet. Let's see, we've got 25 jars of legumes, beans, and that's kidney. All I really have is kidney and black beans in here. Now I do have some other canning goods out in by my pantry. I'm not going to put those into the inventory because they aren't living in here. I want this inventory to be this room. 55 vegetables. I only have 3 jars left of my home canned green beans, so I'm doubling up the amount of green beans we do this year because I really use them sparingly, which I would rather have green beans every year. I want 55 jars of green beans in my pantry. So we're going to double up the amount of green beans we plant. I planted 2 packages today. Fruit, I only have 4 fruit items. I have 1 jar of peaches left, and I have the 3 quarts of strawberry rhubarb pie filling left. And then I'm not going to count any of the jams that I have. I have 22 soups, and that's for cooking as well as for eating. So you can use it to cook, add to your recipe. 14 jars of broth, so of bone broth. 4 quarts of barbecue sauce, and 10 of the sweet and sour sauce. So I do have a couple other sauces, like this one. I'm not going to put this on there. I guess I should. This is a sweet and tangy Thai chili sauce, and it's delicious. I've got a couple jars of those. I guess I'll put them in the inventory too. So I really feel like I'm seriously lacking in the fruit. We eat seasonal fruit. And so this year I'm going to focus on canning some really nice fruit if I can get my hands on some. Sometimes it's really hard. I'm going to focus on the vegetables for sure. And I need to have more beans on my shelf. Beans are one of those things. You can grab a jar of black beans or pinto beans. I made refried beans with them the other night, and I don't know that I ever want to have a can of refried beans again. They were so delicious. We ate the whole jar, and it was a big jar. So those are great to have on your shelf. I would highly recommend that. And then barbecue sauce, can't have enough of it on your shelf. I'm going to barbecue all season, so I'm going to watch for the upcoming video of another barbecue recipe. I want to share my maple barbecue sauce with you. And boy, where else do I need to strengthen? I think more soups to cook with for sure, but I'm going to wait till I run through at least the cream of chicken and mushroom. I have the French onion and mushroom one to use, so I'm not too worried about it. But I recommend, if you can, put something together. Maybe you've got an old binder. I went on my computer and printed up some stuff for this, but you don't have to even do that. You could make it up yourself, like I did in the past, and try to get an inventory of what you have, and it will tell you where you're weak in the pantry items. So I highly recommend we push forward and keep doing what we're doing. Guys, if this inspires you to start canning, I mean, it really is worthwhile to be able to come in here and shop for my own things that I know what I did to get them on the shelf and preserve them for my family. And so, yeah, I got some work to do. There's 1, 2, 3 cases of empty jar boxes, pint size, one empty case of quarts, and that's part of that is out there. If I need to replace jars, I will, but I want to really fill up all the empty jars I have and strengthen this for now, and then add to the inventory because I do have room on the shelves for more jars. So let's get to canning. Want to? Okay, guys, I hope you give me a thumbs up. I hope you leave a comment in the comment section and tell me what you think. All right, I'll see you next time. Bye.